And I got to push all the right buttons. And sometimes I've been accused of pushing the right buttons too many times, or sometimes maybe the wrong button, but that's the way it goes. 1 week and counting. 1 week for y'all, huh? Yeah. Yes, I've muted you. I haven't turned your mic on yet. You want your mic on too?
Oh, I was just going to say, don't push my button. And
Okay,
there you
well,
go.
whatever. I pushed your button. I pushed your button by not turning your button on, right? That
All right,
works.
TGIF.
Yeah,
Continue.
1 week and counting. 1 week to get ready. 7 days from today. Please, for the sake of you and your family and friends, start rounding up some four-leaf clovers. Grab a box of Lucky Charms. Shop for Maniki Neko and some ladybugs. You'll need them next Friday.
Maniki, what?
Maneki Neko.
What is that?
Yeah, I knew you'd ask. Maneki Neko. It's a Japanese figurine of a cat with a raised paw, smiling as though the kitty is waving. And according to the Japanese, this is lucky. Maybe lucky enough to ward off the bad luck of a black cat crossing your path next Friday the 13th.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Good lucky Friday morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
And good morning, TGIF. I'm Lee Barrels.
It just really,
So happy it's
I know it
Friday.
gets people think, what is he talking about? I don't know.
I'm
Why
like,
should I know? Why should I be the one who knows
Maniki.
what I'm talking about? I don't even know where this stuff comes from. It's something back in the recesses, not sources. I see June. Yeah, you've ever seen that one?
No.
Oh yeah, they're just as cute as they can be.
I call good luck just waking up every morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it is a Friday, and we welcome all y'all here to Live and Local Real
Yes,
Talk.
we do.
And
Absolutely.
this is a participatory show. Okay, that means we're here and you participate.
Right.
So we'd love to hear from you. We all, and I don't ever agree with anybody, but that's beside the point. Um, I can take the opposite road any day of the week, or I can agree with you. Every now and then I do. Probably more often than I care to admit. But just to be grouchy, I will disagree with you, even when I agree with you.
Let me make sure I.
And I know a couple of y'all are just exactly like that because you like to push my buttons. But it's okay. I like that. That's not a big deal.
Make sure I'm on mute because I know this phone's going to start dinging.
Ding,
What's Rayford talking about?
ding. I don't know. Why should he know? Okay, it is Friday, and we do welcome you to the show. And it looks like there's not an area of a cloud in the sky, at least a part of it that I can see. And I see the remnants of a little bit of snow on the roof across the road.
I had a few
much, just a
remnants in the yard.
We got some in the yard because some of it's shady a good part of the day.
I will
it just
tell you.
doesn't get as much warmth as other parts.
On my travels into this studio this morning, the roads were beautiful. I'm not saying they're like that everywhere,
No,
but
I'm sure
my
they're not.
travel, they were beautiful.
Well,
So grateful.
I took the big doggy out for a walk this morning, but I have to carry him to go for a walk outside
Yes,
when he doesn't
yes.
want to go. So I pick him up, and
Oh
going down the steps was a challenge
my
because
goodness.
it was crunch,
Crunch.
slip. Oops, whoops, watch out.
Yes.
And then you grab the railing, and if you got a deck like I've got, and you put a railing around it, especially around the steps area, and there's these little lights that are up there that recharge during the day, and they come on at nighttime. Don't grab those on your way down
Oh.
because they come loose real easy because they're meant to take off so you can change the batteries out. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. So, but I caught myself and put it back before it went too far.
Well, I'm sure your dogs like mine are so happy they can run the length of the yard now. So happy.
They're going to be doing it. We've got one over there asleep on a shirt.
He's all curled up.
Yes, he is.
He's our little baby dog. He's our studio dog.
He's a studio mascot.
That's right, he
what
is.
Well, it didn't take too long to catch a half-wit.
Oh no.
Federal agents put the habeas corpus on a man. They say sent a fake ransom message to the family of Nancy Guthrie. I've seen it
Yes.
written two ways. That's a really weird
Guthrie,
thing.
you're correct.
I know what I am, but because it's like the Guthrie's down at Sneed's Ferry. But anyway, it's some people call it Guthridge and whatever. Anyhow, the 84-year-old woman disappeared from her Tucson home last Saturday night, leading authorities to believe she was kidnapped. The victim is the daughter of NBC Today Show co-host Samantha Guthrie. Her name is also Guthrie. No indication that the abduction is connected with Samantha's work as a journalist. Nothing has been brought up about that, though everybody is thinking it. 2 ransom notes were sent via electronic messaging methods. Point number 1, folks. This one guy is so stupid that he makes our elected congressional leaders look like brilliant accountants and rocket scientists.
Is that the one that text?
42-year-old Derek, he's old enough to should have known better, young enough that he should be aware of all this stuff.
You would
The
think.
really young, I could give them, the 15-year-olds, they're just still dumb. And then the older people are just don't have the ability to understand all this stuff.
Right.
But the 42-year-olds, they should know everything there is to know about texting and messaging and
Right.
emails. And no, folks. Anyway, he's dumb. 42-year-old Derek Colella, he's from Hawthorne, California, has a bit of explaining to be putting up with.
Yeah.
He's charged with transmitting a ransom demand related to a kidnapped person and anonymous interstate communications intended to harass or threaten. But they got laws on the books to cover anything that you do that is not nice. Okay? My law that I rewrote, I just covered them all. Failure to do right. And then I just filled in the blanks.
Clown. He's a clown.
A Tucson TV station received one note on its tip line demanding ransom payments in Bitcoins. The daughter and son-in-law of the missing lady each received text messages on Wednesday demanding confirmation that the family had sent the ransom money. Not only did somebody send them the note, then they wanted confirmation that they had sent it.
You dummy. Dumb crook, as Kelly would say. Dumb crook.
She says a lot more than I do too. The texts were traced to an email account belonging to Colella, and IP address records showed they were sent from his house. Duh. He didn't even go to the public library.
Starbucks or somewhere, McDonald's.
Yeah, or just go to your neighbor's house that
And use a burner phone.
That doesn't have a security code on their Wi-Fi.
Or the Wi-Fi.
We used to drive around looking for places like that so we'd know where to go.
Could you imagine if SWAT came to your door?
Yeah, yeah.
FBI.
That has happened.
Oh.
He admitted to investigators he sent the text and called the family to follow up, leading authorities to obtain an arrest warrant. Well, you may as well admit it. They got you dead to right, doofus. A note sent to the trash entertainment news program, TMZ, apparently had 2 deadlines listed. One was yesterday at 5. The other is for, I guess, next Monday. Time for a little long stroll for Mr. Colella.
Good.
On a short fishing pier along the California coastline, blindfolded. Walk far enough so you can experience a sudden sinking feeling.
Let's go fishing. Yeah.
Hold your breath and wait for the splash. The problem for police is that fake messages take up a lot of their time to deal with them. Even assuming they're likely fakes, you still have to verify that. Too much manpower was consumed. Ms. Guthrie had been with one of her daughters, Alice, and her husband Saturday night up until about 9:30, 9:45. Investigators say her pacemaker stopped communicating with her watch several hours earlier. Yes. That only means the pacemaker and watch were not close enough together to communicate. Correct. Not that the pacemaker has stopped working.
Correct.
Okay. The victim does require various drugs daily, presumably meds for cardiac issues, because that's what she was having before.
Right.
I know some of this stuff firsthand. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Many drugs like that are to prevent future heart issues and are not necessarily a death sentence if you fail to take them every day. I've missed mine for several days from time to time.
Shame on you.
I know. The meds vary with patients' needs. Now, there will be some patients that will say, don't you dare not take this med.
Right.
But once the way I was, well, whatever, the way I sort of assume things, once it was regulated and I take my blood pressure on a regular basis and yada, yada, yada,
And then you don't.
I can tell when
Right.
things are kind of normal. And if I miss something, I don't get all excited about it.
Right.
That's just the way it is. The investigators have not revealed whether they have any information linking anyone to that kidnapping. The county sheriff on Sunday, before the FBI was on scene, revealed that some small drops of blood were found at the Guthrie home. Some reports indicated that it was the victim's blood. Yesterday, that was confirmed. No reason to speculate. Some of us drop bits of blood from small cuts or scrapes or even sinus discharges fairly often. Folks on blood thinners experience that kind of stuff all the time. You get a bruise, you get a scratch, you bump something, and you get a little bit of a bruise there, and the skin is very thin at places. Yeah, I got those all over the place.
I ran into the door last night.
And it happens, and I leave blood everywhere. My God. If they came run by here every time they found some specks of blood,
Your house would be
may as
roped
well
off.
just keep a crime scene unit here all the
Yes.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, there is no reason to give up hope, not yet.
I know.
And for the Nancy Grace types, stay home.
She
The
gets
more
on my
BS
nerves.
you spread, the more difficult you make it. Should the real investigators make an arrest, and trying to get to them, to the bad guy through people like that is just a pain in the butt. Shame on Hannity for calling her and getting her and putting her in the limelight on his show.
I
the other
saw
night.
that.
That was just absolutely dumb on Hannity's part. He's looking for publicity, and it sucks.
Well, she's associated with the Fox program now, and so she does a lot of their crime stuff. But
I wouldn't put her on.
she gets. I don't.
She
I
has,
don't
she
care
has
for
no
her.
credibility.
She's
None.
very opinionated, and she gives her beliefs. Like
Which is
I'm
fine.
telling you this
Be
now.
opinionated, but don't do it as fact.
I'm telling you, ever since she went after our sheriff back in the day on that cesarean case,
It's a
cesarean. What was his name?
Marion or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know what his name
And
was.
she publicly went after our sheriff. I'm just like,
About something she knows nothing about.
that was the coat hanger story.
That was what it was
Worked for him.
Sheriff Brown said that because he was looking for the victim.
A body, right?
Okay, he was looking. He was just looking for the victim. So he did what some country folks used to do as on a regular basis. They used what they called a divining rod. Well, he
Yes.
used a coat hanger. That's what he had instead of a forked stick.
Right.
And he said it pulled down when he got over a certain spot,
He found the body, didn't
and he
he?
found the body. Now,
Right.
there's not enough probable cause there when you do something like that to be able to go
Right.
get a warrant, search warrant, or whatever. But cops have fooled people a lot by saying, look what this is. You've heard the story about the lie detectors? The police officer giving a fake lie detector
Right.
has a button underneath the desk, and he knows when somebody's going to be lying
Was he
anyway.
hit it?
And he pushes the button, and it does that. A little light comes on, or it goes, bzz. You're lying, dude.
You're lying.
And then, crooks are not real bright, and a lot of them are very superstitious. And if you take advantage of that opportunity.
Can't do that nowadays, though.
Yeah, you can.
No, although all
Just
the
don't-
recordings and everything you
just
got in
don't
court,
just don't tell everybody.
they'd be like, "You violated my client's right."
How?
Yes. Look,
How?
by fooling him.
That wasn't bullying. You gave them the opportunity to fess up, and they generally will at some point in time. And it doesn't take a rubber hose anymore.
The bright lights, the button, the bright lights, the button, the rubber hose.
No, waterboarding. That's a modern way of dealing with
You're
it.
gonna talk.
No, you're not. You can talk or drown. Your choice.
Rafer's from the old school.
That's new school stuff.
They had a coffee cup for him in the emergency room at Onslow Memorial, who he was visiting so often with those that he arrested.
Not me. I didn't drink coffee. They knew better.
Or cocoa. Yeah, he's back with another one. What happened this time, officer? He fell.
Down 17 times.
He fell. Oh, we'll put a few stitches
No,
in his
it
head.
wasn't me that took them to the hospital. I just had to usually go process what happened to them.
Right.
And yes, I mean, bad guys do stupid stuff.
Oh, yes.
They run,
especially Mr. Kalela, whatever his name
right
was.
downtown Jacksonville on Court Street, right across from, what's that, a Twilight Lounge? There was the First Citizens Bank building right there on the corner. Do you remember that building?
Yes, I do.
Well, there was a hedge right in front of it on the Court Street side.
I remember that hedge.
And some guys got to cutting up at 2:00 when the drinking time stopped, and it was hot in summertime. You know, the drinking time was actually 1 a.m. That's what was written in the laws, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I kind of remember that.
When it got to be, when they started using daylight time, they never changed the law from 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Standard Time. And therefore they got it through. They found out it was 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time was the same as 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So they started closing the bars at 2 a.m. daylight time. And then, of course, during the wintertime, they had to go back to standard time. And that's when they changed the laws.
I know you've got all of us confused.
No, I didn't. It's just a fact. Anyway, at closing time one night, some guys were fighting outside, which was traditional when you tell them to get out of your bar. Then they take it to the street, and they've had words inside. So they have words outside, and then they take their shirts off, and then they start swinging. Sweaty, no shirt, mace. It's a great combination.
And back in that day, they used different kind of mace than what they use nowadays. Back then, it was like that oil base.
Yeah.
That once you got it on you,
sticks.
Whew.
Pepper spray is different from the chemical mace spray, and the law enforcement chemical mace contain twice as much of the active ingredients, as they say, as the stuff that you could buy across the counter.
Right.
For police use only was generally stamped somewhere on it. The other thing that was stamped on it causes respiratory distress. Anyway, spray him down. This one dude, he ran. He couldn't see, and he was all excited. And he ran straight across Court Street, through the hedge, and hit that brick wall. And the brick wall did not move. So
that was right.
The ambulance
came
and picked him up, took him to the hospital for treatment. Tragedy in L.A. yesterday, about noon Pacific time. A motorist crashed her car into a supermarket. 3 people were reportedly killed. 3 others were seriously hurt. Police said several were trapped underneath the car for a bit. Firefighters on the scene said the driver, a woman of about 70, may have experienced a medical issue causing her to lose control of her car. Her car ended up inside the store.
Yes.
It was not immediately known if the victims were inside the store or on the outside or a combination. The driver was also taken to the hospital. 910-333-0139. Want to chat this morning? Your time is right after weather.
I don't know if you remember Gibson's over here on Beaufort Road. Well, that was my first job, and I was working the front desk the day that a car drove through the window there. The person had hit the gas instead of the brake, and here it comes.
That happens a lot. Just the reason you will see in front of a lot of stores at their main entrance, close together,
the poles,
big yellow poles. They're steel, and they're mounted deep in concrete because some people just, as they approach it, they will inadvertently get excited and hit the accelerator instead of the gas. So.
I'll never forget that. I happened to be on the intercom calling somebody at the time.
Did you say bad words?
That the car came through the window, and I've been told that I said, "Oh, bad word," and before I hung up. So, pardon me, excuse me, I apologize.
Sailing all the way to the big water today. You should really check out the marine forecast anytime before you start any offshore trips. Today, out to 20 nautical miles. Northwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gust up to 25, becoming westerly this afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet every 5 seconds, except 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy today. Tomorrow, brisk. Northwesterly winds 25 to 30 with gust up to 40. Seas 5 to 8 feet, 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers very rough, Kelly, if you're listening. Sunday, northerly winds 20 to 25 knots with a gust of 30, becoming northwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Today, increasing clouds with a high near 49. Light west wind becoming southwest 5 to 9 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 15. Tonight, a slight chance of rain before 11 p.m. Cloudy with a low around 28. Saturday, sunny with a high near 33. Saturday night, clear, low of 16. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 36. I will tell you, those taking a sneak peek at next week, we're looking at Tuesday, sunny with a high near 61.
We'll get some reprieve.
It's going to be 100%. It's going to be doubled.
Yes.
But
it'd be
tomorrow,
nice.
33.
That's a high.
I have to dress warm to go to
Well,
our meeting in the morning.
Yeah. Last week we had some highs that did not reach freezing going up. Several days this past week.
Well, the nighttime is still very, very cold. And right now we have a cold watch starting tomorrow night at 9 p.m. through Sunday morning, 9 a.m. And that's according to the National Weather Service.
Cold alert, cold alert. Be
Cold
careful.
alert.
Make sure your plants are wrapped up. Make sure your
To make
critters are wrapped
double
up.
shirts.
Yeah, that too, ladies. You're just one
Double
of those.
shirts. All right, Rayford.
No, I won't. I was, but I won't.
We're so bad. Y'all just don't know. You should hear us off air.
Well, I use Band-Aids for my fingers, stuff like that when I get them cut.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Randy out there on his golf cart in the southwest community this morning. It was 21 degrees, 92% humidity, northeasterly wind about 1 mile per hour, nothing in the rain gauge, and it was clear. That's pretty much going to be the case here everywhere this morning in Onslow. Clear and sunny. I see the sun popping through this morning. Joe down in the borough, known as Swansboro, 25 degrees, 82% humidity. Northeasterly winds, but they weren't much, mostly calm, he said. 0.02 inches in the rain gauge, 29.73 inches of on the barometric pressure. Out there in Back Swamp, Lee, I think he said yesterday he saw some snow flurries in the afternoon.
Yes, I heard.
I heard
I thought that
that.
was Joe.
Somebody did.
It was Joe saw snow
yeah,
flurries.
he did too. But I think Lee also mentioned that.
I think Joe's got effect from the gas from the golf cart.
Randy's on the golf cart.
Oh, Randy's
and it's electric.
Oh, that's right.
Joe's just he gets out
Okay,
and walks.
I'm backing out.
Joe gets the fumes from the cars around Swansboro.
Yeah, I knew one of them. I thought. Oh,
Anyways, 22 degrees in the swamp,
Mm-mm.
95% humidity. The winds are non-existent and nothing in the rain gauge, 29.64 inches of mercury. Lee, you in
me.
the woodlands, it was 22 this morning, 85% humidity. No wind, nothing in the rain gauge, and 29.89 inches of mercury.
All right.
Dale, over there in River Bend, he and Carol, 21 degrees it was there. And I think he said had already dropped the second time he called. 95% humidity, westerly wind of about 1 mile per hour, nothing in the rain gauge. Cedar Point, Ward reported in this morning, 28 degrees, 64% humidity, a very light northeasterly breeze. 0.01 inches in the rain gauge, 29.95 inches of mercury. And skipping on down here at the studio this morning, it was originally 20 degrees at 5:30. It's now 19. Humidity is up to 96% relative humidity. No wind. Is that still true? No wind.
No wind.
We had some 2 mile per hour winds overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in the rain gauge, 29.93 inches of mercury, and it is steady. Okay.
Steady.
Thank you for all of those amateur radio guys
Yes.
who get up and do this kind of stuff every morning.
Right.
They do it for the fun of it. And you know, it's good training too. It's good to know that we've got people, spotters throughout the county.
Absolutely.
So that, and the National Weather Service also counts on the hams because
Yes.
we provide pinpoint accuracy,
Yeah,
literally.
we have weather reporters that whenever, like during our snow last week, we're measuring
Yep.
and sending in reports to the National Weather Service. So that's where they get a lot of their information from weather
That's how they get it,
spotters.
from weather spotters like those.
Yes.
And we've all taken a class in it.
Yes, we have.
So it's pretty neat to be able to do that. By the
Right.
way, this morning up there in New Hampshire, it was
Mm-hmm.
14 degrees a few
Oof.
minutes ago when I was listening and to those guys. I didn't check in this morning with the Northeast Network, but it was 14 degrees. He had a light southeasterly wind, 29.71 inches of mercury and falling. And there was no snow on the ground at the time. All of their stuff had melted. That's in New Hampshire. Now, around the Northeast, they had temperatures. Most of them were very much like ours, the 20s or somewhere like that. And Florida, there was one station that checked
Poor Florida.
in the mid 30s.
The iguanas all falling out of the trees.
Oh, watch out! Incoming.
In South Carolina, they had snakes falling out of the trees. Kelly sent me a news story and a picture of snakes were falling out. Could you be walking down the sidewalk and a snake falls out of a tree? No, thank you. No, thank you.
There's up some of the creeks, like up New River, where it gets really narrow up around rich lands. People like to fish up there a lot, right?
Yeah, you go right ahead.
And well, they do. They fish
Alligators out there.
There are gators in New River too. That's all right. But the snakes up there, these limbs that come out over the narrow sections of the river, there's been more than one report as a boat is going underneath it, a snake falls into the boat. There's also been more than one report of a hole appearing in the boat from a 12-gauge shotgun.
or a person in the water in distress.
No, they don't get in the water.
Them.
They know where the snakes are.
Oh, man.
One's in the boat, but the rest of them are in the water.
Well,
Anybody got any good stories about those snakes that fall into boats? I'm sure
People
Lee probably does. Our number is 910-3,
Lee
the other three, other Lee.
Yes.
910-333-0139.
Why are you looking behind? Stop.
There is the telephone number up there in case I forget.
Well, you looked past me and I'm like.
Well, that's where the telephone number is, past you, over your right shoulder.
Okay, but I thought you knew that. Anyway, don't do that to me. Stop.
And then there's over there.
Oh, no. You've already done it once.
I wouldn't. Okay. I don't look over there, though.
Well, look, I want to send special shout outs.
Yes.
To a young man today. Yep. And if you notice, we always wear red on Friday.
Yeah, we do.
We do that because remember, everyone deployed, and we also wear red to honor all our
law enforcement
or EMS or first responders. But today, we are both wearing our Cardinal shirts. We're big Cardinal fans because we're alumni of the Jacksonville High School Cardinals.
It's got nothing to do with St. Louis, by the way.
No, this is Jacksonville
the real
High School.
Cardinals.
And we both have our Cardinal shirts on for a special reason today. We want to send a shout out to a young man, 17-year-old Trey Booher, I think it's right, Booher. He is a resident right here in Jacksonville. Growing up here, he went to Northwoods Park Middle School, was on the championship football team 2022 when they won the championship. And he plays as offensive, I guess it's offensive lineman, it would be.
Yeah,
Rayford.
I guess.
He's number 71 if you've been out to the football games and watched the Cardinals play. Well, Trey next week will be undergoing some very serious heart surgery. To do a repair.
Got a little bit of a surprise.
Yes, and
it had nothing to do with football injuries.
No, nothing to do with football. This is something else. This will be his fourth surgery. He had his third surgery last year, right before the White Oak Jacksonville High School game, and had to sit out the rest of the season. But he was there on the sidelines in his uniform, rooting on his teammates. My understanding is this is a fantastic, wonderful young man. Very, very humble, very just your classic teenager, the way you want to see all teenagers grow up. Yeah. But we do want to send out our best wishes. And his parents have asked that Cardinal Nation, everybody stand up and say a prayer. And let's get him back home and get him on the road to healing.
Get her done.
So, Trey, our Cardinal shirts today are for you.
Yep.
We wish you the best. And I'll be talking with his mama later on today. And if there's anything that we can suggest, maybe some cards, get well cards or something, we'll let you know later where you can send them. But let's all stand behind Trey. Let's get him back home. Let's get him well and back on that football field next year.
Yeah.
This year, yes.
Oh, it is now later this
We
year.
want to see him back on that football field.
I need to do a countdown. What's the first game? Hey, Chris, you out there? What's the date of the first game for this year? Chris,
I don't know, but
Chris,
Trey,
Chris,
you have our prayers and our love.
Okay. It must be a lot of fun when companies are able to get a lot of federal money that once belonged to average Americans, play with that money as they test out political pipe dreams. Of course, when those dreams end up as duds, the government can just keep on plugging away, looking for other worthy projects to finance with our money. I seriously doubt that a majority of those people we elect would contribute their hard-earned money for drawing board dreams without more assurances than we get before writing checks. Let's look at a desire by an ex-president or someone in the administration of that now ex-president to spend $8 billion on electric buses in Vermont. We got a little cold around here last week and through the weekend. In Vermont, that kind of cold lasts for months at a time every year. The buses that we paid for don't operate under those kinds of conditions. So a big chunk of the year, they can't run anyway. So if you wanted to test out such an idea, and you could get approval to move forward with it, would you add a fleet of buses for testing? Or would you just try it out with, say, one bus in the beginning? Let's finance one bus and use that as the test instead of a full fleet of buses to put them out there.
Why would you buy a whole fleet?
Well,
before we even know?
They did.
That's ridiculous.
Counting on forcing the United States to use all electric vehicles was not realistic. But we know that's what a previous administration was doing, mandating executive orders, building, rebuilding, testing, retesting as sampling of buses, cars, and more can make sense. Pretty sure trying it out on an entire fleet of buses does not make any sense. Now, here's something else to consider when the government takes our money and lets private enterprise develop programs that end up being sold to development corporations who then build the buses or whatever because they're working, everything's great, and it suddenly takes off and makes a lot of money. Do we get our investment money back complete with interest? Do we get any refunds? Do these development companies ever pay for all of the research that we, the people, put into it? Nope. What a silly group of business people we have walking this planet. Spend our ill-gotten money to develop something that will make a lot of money, keeping all of the profits. Going to make myself mad. I'm looking at it every time I think of that. Yeah. Why should we, the people, take the risk? Do we get anything for it?
No, we don't.
Is it voluntary?
We don't.
If you think it's cool, go out and get it. But don't count on grants. Grants are money that the government has taken from us.
Exactly. And let's talk about the smart way. Okay. You've noticed over the years, and this especially when Hans Miller was sheriff, started changing up some of the patrol cars from the old brown type that we used to have, which we still have some. But they didn't go out and buy a whole fleet of cars, just one at a time as it was needed. And they updated the look and they updated the car, updated all that. It's just one at a time. And that's the way you spend your money. I mean,
no, that's the way you spend my money.
Right. Well,
that's what we want you to do. Right. Spend my money right.
But that's the first thing it made me think of is like how they've transitioned over like new uniforms too. They just didn't go out and say, okay, we're just dumping everything and buying all brand new. No. I mean, that's our money too. And I agree. To buy a whole fleet of buses before you even know, that's like when they started the transit
They didn't
here in
buy 'em, they
Onslow
had them
County.
built
Yeah. Oh my
from
gosh.
scratch.
It's like the transit that started here in Jacksonville years ago. I mean, they have a few buses out, and so far, and each year they add a little bit, change the routes a little bit. That's the way you do it.
That's the way responsible people would do things. Otherwise, look what we get. We get a bunch of stuff that just doesn't work. If the whole thing,
Right.
if it flops, then whatever.
Right on, right on. That's just ridiculous. Oh, we got some news coming out of Jacksonville here. Did you see? We have a Richlands man who is in custody after investigators say drugs, illegal gambling, and drug test fraud were operating out of an Onslow County business. You know, all these pop-up shops that we had, the vape shops and
I do.
stuff. Well, this one, according to arrest warrants, and there's no way I can say his name, Izolden Thayer Abdul Raz, whatever, 26.
He ain't from around these
No,
parts,
he's not
y'all.
from around his. He was arrested February 5th, which is yesterday, by ALE, Alcohol Law Enforcement.
You gotta understand, folks, a little information about ALE.
You don't miss it.
ALE, Alcohol Law
Mhm.
Enforcement, they are state cops. They
Yes,
can
they
arrest you
are.
for speeding if they want to. They can arrest you for whatever crime that you're committing that's a violation of a whole bunch of different stuff here in North Carolina. They can do that. They can arrest you for bank robbery. They have been involved in bank robbery arrests in the past. We had some right here. Warlick was his name. He was at that time they called them ABC agents, ABC cops. But anyway, they can do that. And
Jerry Reed
if
was
they go
ALE,
into
wasn't he?
who
Jerry Reed?
he was, after he retired from JPD,
Right, he was ALE.
they had
Here comes Reed, run.
they had a
I remember those.
they go into places though where they can legally go in and inspect. They can inspect any place that sells alcohol without a warrant. If you've got a license to sell alcohol, they don't need a warrant to go inspect you and do whatever. And while they're there and inspecting you, and anything they come across that's in violation of any other statutes, any other laws, well, guess what, Jack?
Well, listen to this. He faces several felony charges, including possession with intent to sell and deliver marijuana, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver a Schedule II controlled substance, trafficking in opium or heroin, and maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substances. He's also faced multiple misdemeanor charges related to gambling, illegal gaming machines, and defrauding a drug or alcohol screening test, which is probably bottles of somebody else's urine. Yeah. Okay. But anyway,
From
and
a
he
horse.
was charged. Oh, horse. He was charged with, he had several types of drugs on him. But anyway, he identified as the Beast Mark on Sandridge Road in Hubert. No wonder there's so many accidents on that road. To store and sell controlled substances. Anyway, he's in the Onslow County Detention Center without bond.
Good.
He
Probably
goes-
can't prove that he lives around here.
He appears in court. No, maybe an ICE agent sitting on that back row today in court.
If
hey.
not, give me their number. I'll call them.
Well, everyone has a right to come to our country legally, to open up a business.
And you can stay here legally if you get the right paperwork to do that.
But the city and the county finally had to put a moratorium on who and where you can open up these vape shops, because
Well, it's not only
they were
that.
every corner.
But there have been, places that you could not sell or set up a shop, a new place of business selling
Busted.
beer within a certain distance of a school. Or that kind of stuff. That was, you could not do it. In Wilmington, there was an ordinance there about setting up and selling stuff near churches.
Right.
And Wilmington had enough churches that there was a lot of places you couldn't set up and operate.
Correct.
It was, yes, and Wilmington used to have something called the blue laws as well. And not that many years ago, blue laws, you couldn't
Yeah.
sell most of anything on Sundays.
That's right. I remember
Most
that.
of
Most of the
anything.
stores were closed too.
Yeah, the stores had to be closed. Now there were some you could open a store, but in the store, for instance, a drugstore, you can have a drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
You could sell magazines. No, guess what? And then you could also sell back in there in most drugstores where you can go in, you can find a counter that, okay, I need some washers for my leaking spigot or something,
Right.
but they couldn't sell those things in the drugstore
Why couldn't they sell them in the drugstore?
because that was hardware, and that was not you couldn't sell hardware on Sundays.
Do you realize how far we've come?
Oh yeah,
You can get anything
the
but.
place that did the most business that in New Hanover County was a drugstore that was located just on the county side. Before you get to the bridge going over to Wrightsville Beach. I forgot the name of the drugstore there. But anyway, they sold everything. They had as much hardware going as they did anything else. And they sold a lot of stuff on weekends.
I miss those old mom and
Weekends.
pop store where you could go in and get anything you needed.
One of the interesting thing was they had some adult bookstores in downtown
Okay.
Wilmington. But under the law, they could sell magazines. There was no special law about pornographic magazines.
Have you ever been in one of those
Oh
stores?
yeah, we used to have to rate them.
I went in there once with my then boyfriend because I wanted to see what was in there. You hear so much talk about it. I said, "Are you game?" Yeah, I'm gonna go in. Interesting.
Yeah, there's the district attorney was always looking for things, and there were certain things you could sell, and if you had two of the items or two different types of the products for sale in these stores, then they could arrest them. They would get, and I was one of those guys working undercover doing stuff.
What were the items?
I'm not going to tell you. And then I would go in.
Curiosity.
Well, anyway, use your imagination. Anyway, I'd go in and I'd just shop and look and see, and there they are. And as soon as I could see it, I just swear on an affidavit. There they are, dung, and then they get rated.
Wow.
So.
Those were the days.
That was in New Hanover County.
Wow.
Jacksonville was still pretty much wide open, but
no, everybody, you growing up, people talk about there's that store, wonder what they have in there. And I just wanted to go in and see.
Mm-hmm.
It was educational. It was
eye-opening, you mean?
But look, I made sure it was out of town, a store out of town, because I didn't want anybody in this town to see me going to a store like that.
But now you just told the whole town.
What? No.
But you went into those places.
That was years ago.
So
years.
What?
Only went
There's
one
no statute
time.
of limitations.
Nowadays, you can get everything on Amazon. So there's. That brings to mind a story about the post office.
Oh, gosh.
On base.
Oh, my.
Where we had to shut the post office down one day because a package came through and the package was buzzing. So the post office had to be evacuated and the bomb team had to come in. The military, it's unknown, it's probably Charlie, unknown caller. But the bomb team came in, military bomb team, to check the package out. And let's just say when it was all and done, they delivered it to the woman's house.
The embarrassed woman's house.
The embarrassed woman's house. And they explained to her what happened. And she was like, it's not my package.
That's on
I didn't order it.
I didn't order it.
I don't know anything about it.
My husband must have ordered that. Yeah.
But if you're going to ship something that contains batteries, take the batteries out.
Yeah.
It was a day of no mail at Camp Lejeune.
Good morning. You're live and local.
Help. Good morning.
I'm just curious. If you had to guess who this is, what would you say?
We know it's Charlie.
We guessed before you even said it.
There's no mystery to my call.
Nope, not at all.
None whatsoever.
No, I just clicked on YouTube. I was awake, and it just says, give you guys a call.
Well, thank
Thought I
you.
would call you. Nice to see you guys.
Nice to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't really.
When was the last time you lived anywhere where you had snow?
You know what? I love that question. Actually, most people, that's a great question. Very creative. Last time, probably when I was
long ago, huh?
Yeah, I gotta think. My brain. Yeah, probably was in Peoria, Illinois. You guys ever hear that old saying, if it plays in Peoria, something, I forget how.
Oh, there's something about Peoria, Illinois, and it shuts down. I don't know. Yes.
No, if it plays in Peoria, it will play anywhere.
Yeah,
I think
right,
that was like
that.
middle America. Yeah. So how are you guys doing?
We're hanging in here.
Doing good.
Most of our snow is gone. That's
Much
good.
better today than we were earlier in the week.
Sunshine.
No, I'm not following it. I'm not sure what's going on. So this was a really bad weather?
We had about a foot of snow this past weekend, and around these parts,
That's unheard
a
of.
couple inches shuts the town down. So you could imagine a foot of snow,
It's called
what it did.
paralysis.
Yeah, we were paralyzed. We're beach people. We don't get snow, but once every decade or something.
Something like that.
We'll get a dusting or an inch or two, but we got on the average, I think in Jacksonville, it's 13 inches.
About 12, 13
Yes.
inches is the average.
Yes, it was.
I was about to come visit Charlie is what I was getting
Yeah,
ready
we're about
to
to
do.
jump on a plane and go to
No,
California.
I don't want. I want no visitors. I want.
We wouldn't be visitors. We'd be squatters.
Hey, were you guys remember that TV reality show like 10 years ago, Myrtle Manor? Is that where you guys are from?
Myrtle Manor?
No,
I don't know.
You talking about
I think
Myrtle
it was
Beach?
North, I don't. It was maybe it was like North Carolina or South Carolina. I'm not sure what it was.
murder.
I've never heard of it, but
Hey, what's going on? I haven't. Hey, you know who's someone that I really like, and I don't want to say anything. Very genuine, very nice to me, Kelly.
Yes, we miss her.
So, she just doesn't want to do the show. Or?
she got kind of busy with her business and
Yeah, she's
dealing
got
with some
family.
dealing with some of the shutdowns and all the stuff that
Taking care of her mama.
that the bureaucrats are dealing with, and then she's got her mom to deal with, and then she's got her husband to deal with. I'm kidding, Robin.
Sorry, Robin.
Her husband's name Robin.
No. So I don't know Kelly. She's off air. She's very nice to me.
She is.
She's a nice person.
But yeah. I don't really know her, so I can't say anything. What about the gentleman? What was the other guy's name? Your
Chris.
co-host.
Chris,
Where is he?
he'll be back on Tuesday. He's his wife had she was feeding squirrels one morning at 5:00. Seriously, on the back porch and slipped, and she messed up her wrist, and
Broke
so
her
she's had,
wrist.
she's had some surgeries, and she's in recovery, but she can't drive anywhere, so she has to be driven back and forth to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Are
sometimes
you
the doctor.
serious? Are you serious about that story?
Absolutely, I'm serious. Hence the
How bizarre
hence
is
the
it that
picture.
in life?
If you
a
look
squirrel.
if you look in front of us, you will see a picture a stuffed squirrel. It's a fake one.
Yes.
Put up there on our little
Right.
Is it
sign.
gray? Is it gray?
Yes,
Is it
gray.
Yeah,
I see.
That's an honor.
yeah. She sent it to us, I think.
See, the way it works around here, Charlie, if the guy falls and breaks his wrist, he's on his own. When it's the mama, the wife, you have to pamper them
Hey, can I
24/7.
ask you guys one last question?
Sure.
So you're smart enough to read through my lines of who I am. I think you are. But I'm just curious. Why do you guys? And I'm not trolling you. I'm not saying
Red.
something negative. But why do you wake up every morning and do this? What motivates you guys to do this?
Insomnia. No, I'm kidding. I have insomnia earlier in the night, but no, I've enjoyed. I just get to meet people that I don't ever get to meet,
Right.
and sometimes I get to meet people, talk with people that we become friendly over the air, and then we've actually met people, and we met a bunch of people one time years ago. We had a big dinner party somewhere. So
Right.
I don't know. We're people.
No, I'm just curious. I mean, is it to become like podcast online famous? Is it just
No,
because-
heavens no.
Okay.
Nope.
I mean, did you ever think like 5 years back that you'd be taking calls from? I'm not going to call myself an idiot, but my people.
Okay, well, let me see. I've been doing this show since 2011, was
We've
it?
had
Yeah.
calls.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm retired
Oh, my
since
God.
November 1st, 2011. That's when I got started in this stuff. Never thought I'd be doing a talk radio program, right? So anyway, here's what some of the people that I've run across over the years. I love them. I had a guy calling me. He used to live up in the Morehead City area, which is not very far from here, from Jacksonville, and he called regularly. His name was Frank, and he called, and he always had he was funny, but he had always interesting run-ins with the law. And he called me one morning. He called me. Are you ready for this? He called me one morning. He said, "Well, this is my last call for a while. I'm going away." I said, "Where are you going?"
Right.
And he said, "They got me, and I violated my parole, so I've got to go back inside." I mean, do you know how hard it is for me to sit there and not absolutely come up with the craziest comments in the world? Well, I didn't sit back and not come up with them. I came up with them. I said, well, call us when you get out. If you have one phone call when you get in there, they wanted to give you one phone call, call me. We'll talk. And so, I mean, little things like that. It's just people. I run across people in stores. God, a lot of folks that you run across, because we did not have video at the time. We didn't do anything podcasting. We didn't have that.
Right. We didn't do
it was
Facebook or
just
YouTube.
Straight up audio. All they did was hear us.
Right.
So I've run into so many people say, they turn around and look, are you so-and-so? Aren't you so-and-so? I said, are you the guy on the radio? And I said, well, I don't know. Who is it? Do you like him? And if they said yes, I said, well, then I fess up with it. They said, no, I know I'm going to go the other way. No, that's not me. So many people make that mistake. But that's, it's just conversation stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Like I call into a lot of shows. If somebody recognized me or recognized my voice and they asked me if that was me, that would scare me. I would never want to be recognized. No, I'm just serious. But like the fact that people recognize you in public, because people are nuts.
Yes.
That would scare me.
Well,
so, yeah.
I know people are nuts.
I'm the anonymous guy behind that wall.
Wait.
I call them to shows. But I never trust me. There are shows that hate me. There are lawyers that are going after me. But with you guys, no. Seriously. They have subpoenaed trying to get my records online because I say things about them. It's like, I call into your show. How can you... I'm not going to get into what some of these people are trying to do. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's bizarre.
Well, see, in our case, we know where these people bury their bodies, so they don't want to put us on the stand.
No, but does that make any sense to you? Literally, there are shows that I call into. At one point, they said, we're going to get our lawyers after you. They went after me online. They tried to get my records online.
What kind of records?
On Reddit. You know Reddit?
Yeah, okay, but what kind of records would you have?
They contacted Reddit. They got a legal type of thing, and Reddit released my personal information to them.
Oh, good.
They had go ahead.
I mean, my personal information is out there on Facebook.
No, but the fact that I called into an online podcast, and I said things to them, and I basically hurt their world. And they said, you know what, we're going to go after you.
Here's the only thing. We don't run that kind of a show, but here's the only thing. Hold on. Here's the only thing that anybody would come after, not us, unless we were perpetuating it, would be threats against other individuals, threats against the government. I'm talking about real threats, not the BS type of stuff. People say, I just won't vote them all out. Throw them to the dogs. No, that doesn't count. But if you actually come on here and you make what I would consider any threat would be a serious threat to harm the president, and you're going to get reported. Now, I'm not going to wait for them to come looking for me. I'm going to call them up. I say, here, Charlie, this is his full name. This is his.
Don't say Charlie. Don't say Charlie. Don't say Charlie.
I will give.
I love Donald Trump. Donald Trump's too liberal for me. Yeah,
you understand. But if somebody plays those kinds of games. I've still got a background. I'm going to go after them personally. By turning over the information, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Totally. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Now, if somebody calls up here and says, "I know where Nancy Guthrie is," you're probably not familiar with who she is, but she's been kidnapped. She's 84 years old from Tucson. Well, he works a lot, so I don't know whether he's paying attention to the news.
Can I? It's funny about Nancy Guthrie. Listen, I'm not sure what happened to this person. A part of me thinks, from what I've learned thus far, it's maybe it's a family member. Maybe I'm wrong. I really don't know. But I think it's really unique. You know how the liberal media basically hates Donald Trump. Samantha Guthrie, she basically, from my understanding, she basically said, Trump is basically he's worse than the devil. He's worse than Hitler's father. He's basically a monster. He's a sick human being. And it's just very interesting. That the president of the United States saw this story and basically reached out to her.
Yep.
Just as a normal person, if it was me, I would never reach out to her. I mean, I wish her the best. I'm sorry for whatever is going on, but these are monsters that are trying to destroy the United States of America. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of him reaching out to her.
Well, I don't remember her ever being the one to be anti-Trump.
No, he mentioned it. He mentioned it. He mentioned it.
Well, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. Sorry.
Well, I've never watched her show. I've never watched her news.
Well, she's kind of like on the air when we're here.
Right. And when I've had the opportunity, I usually watch something else religiously, and that's my go-to channel, my go-to news. But I just pray. I pray for Mama Guthrie, and I pray that she is found alive and well. It's just such a bizarre
story. No. I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
But I don't pray, but I also wish the best for the probably next few hundred women that are going to be violated and raped also as well.
Absolutely.
And hopefully their stories. What?
I absolutely
agree. We agree with you.
Yeah. So I hope their stories get as much attention. Right. I hope their stories are out there. Anyway, guys, listen, I really like your show. That's it. You got to go.
Goodbye.
All right.
Somebody must have been calling.
Elon has texted me back.
Oh, God.
Thanks a lot for your support and positive vibes in my career.
Give him any positive vibes.
And I will tell you that the world needs more good people like you to make. You're indeed a great fan and a friend also.
Send money.
It'll a couple more texts. It'll be Bitcoins, I'm telling you.
Up there in Nash County, earlier the week, there's a man involved. He died. Late night officer involved shooting.
Oof.
He's been identified. Deputies were on the scene Wednesday of a domestic dispute. Worst thing in the world that cops have to respond to because they don't know what's going on and they almost always lose. Both sides hate them at the end. A domestic dispute at a home just outside of Nashville. That's in North Carolina, not the other one. 44-year-old Christopher Erb had a knife, struck his wife in the mouth, threatened to kill her. A caller reported him saying he wanted death by cop. Oh, God, you really hate to go into those.
That's not.
The wife, along with the daughter, who was also inside the home, they got out. They got out okay. About 10 o'clock, deputies say they were trying to negotiate with her, but he continued threatening them. He then walked outside with an AR-style rifle about 11 o'clock. The sheriff says that after attempting to get him to comply, he began to walk toward them while raising his gun.
Well, that'll get you killed.
One of the officers, a sergeant, shot Herb once with a rifle. He was, I don't know whether he was on the SWAT team or what, but he was armed with a rifle. Most departments don't have rifles in their cars as a matter of routine patrol.
Right.
The sergeant, it killed the guy, one shot. He's currently on administrative duties as the SBI is investigating. Herb has a history of mental ill issues, and they visited the home numerous times in the past. The sheriff warns gun owners to take safety precautions when sharing a home with someone experiencing a mental crisis. People, if you live in a home, whether it's your son, your grandson, your neighbor's friends, or somebody's over that visits your kids, or visits your spouse, or visits visits you, and you know that they have issues, lock your guns away.
Yes.
Lock them up.
Oh,
do
mercy.
not let people know what you've got, how much you've got, where it is, or anything else. And for God's sakes, don't show and tell, my Lord. If you've got really close friends who happen to be cops too, and they're going to be bragging. They're going to be wanting to show me yours, I'll show you mine, that type thing.
Wow.
But
Right,
that's
right.
but it's a different story. But when you know or suspect a person
Somebody's
has
got-
some issues mentally, or whether there's drugs or alcohol or anything else involved, make sure that anything that goes bang is so secured, better than Fort Knox at least.
Absolutely. I mean,
But
you talk about
this is, I mean, the guy. See, it's the guy. He had decided he was going to die, and he was going to let a cop take
Right.
him out. Right?
right. Easy.
How
way
is
to-
that fair to the police?
It's not fair.
How is that fair to this sergeant with the police with the
Haunt
sheriff's
him.
office? That will he ever be able to work again?
Mm.
That's it. This is something you have. It's not a defensive thing directly. You are the guy's exhibiting symptoms, and I don't know. What do you do? Can't just walk
That's-
away. The guy's got a gun, and he's coming straight at you. You got to take him into custody. That's what you're there for.
If you're one of those who thinks it's easy for a cop, for a law enforcement officer to fire a
Oh,
gun
no, it's not.
and results in the death of that person, it's not easy for
No,
them.
it's not.
They have to go home, and I imagine as soon as they close their eyes and lay their head down at night, it's just the whole scene flashing before them, and it's something they have to deal with. They took a life.
Mhm.
And they did what they had to do, but still they took a life. And that's something that weighs on them. I have a good friend. It's been a police officer in Raleigh for quite some time. He's a retired Marine, and he's leaving the police force, retiring from that. Well, he's only been there 5 years, but he said the things that he's seen and done, plus the fact that the law enforcement in Raleigh has gone right down
Wacky.
the drain with all the wokeness and stuff, and he's stepping away from it for a while. But and I know, Rayford, that during your time in law enforcement, you saw a lot, you had to do a lot, and those things you never forget. They stay with you. And you want to talk about mental illness? Here's a story for you. This just happened recently. Emergency services were called to the Olive Garden restaurant, and this was in, let me go back up here and get it. I don't like the way they were in Pennsylvania. All right. It was the Olive Garden in Pennsylvania. Shortly after 4 p.m. local time, it was where a worker, a man who has not been named, removed his clothing in the kitchen.
Where's you getting naked again?
Well, no, this gets worse. Before plunging into the vat of hot oil at the Olive Garden in Pennsylvania. Emergency services were called to the American chain restaurant
late?
shortly after 4 p.m. The worker was transported to the hospitals but succumbed to his
I'm
injuries.
sure he did. What a miserable way
Audio
to
from
go.
the 911 calls revealed the chaotic scene as it unfolded. A dispatcher told officers, burn victim at Olive Garden. I don't have a lot of details. People screaming and some kind of burn victim. And then subsequent calls revealed that the male victim went head first into the fryers.
Why?
I think it'd be easier, like you said, just suicide by cop. I mean, oh my gosh.
Why would you pick something that's going to be obviously that much pain?
A female colleague sustained minor burns while attempting to intervene alongside other staff members and at least one customer who tried to stop the man. And a spokesman for Pennsylvania State Police confirmed that the incident was a suicide attempt. It was a suicide. The man died.
Yeah.
Wow. Could you imagine being at a restaurant and that happened?
I'm just like, I don't know how there could be something more painful,
I don't know if I want
even
to eat
though it's going to be a
anymore.
relatively short period of time.
Yes.
That's going to be extremely painful.
Extremely painful. Extremely.
The people that, not that I've talked with a bunch of people like that, but the people that
Mhm.
do commit suicide, there's a lot of stuff written about it, and they don't look for painful ways to do it. They look for what is going to be the least painful. Remember Dr. Kevorkian?
Yes.
He was assisting people and letting them
Right.
do it, but he was assisting them, telling them what's the least. And I'm sure there are folks out there who've thought about it and said to not that they were seriously considering it amongst these people listening right now. how would I do this so that I don't want to hurt? My God, I don't want to hurt.
It makes you take a whole different approach, a different opinion, a different look at assisted suicide.
Yeah.
And it's just,
yeah, get a professional is what you're saying, right?
well, you've got people that are dying in agonizing death due to an illness,
Sure.
cancer, something. Is it wrong to let them leave life a little early by a little bit of assistance?
That's an
It's a very
argument.
debatable
Well,
argument.
It's a religious argument as well. So you're going to have people from all sides going to be arguing with that one. That's against God's will. Yada yada yada. So I don't know. Then the people who argue that will be asked, "Do you think God would want me to suffer for the next year?"
Right.
I mean,
I can see both sides of it.
There will be those. So
I can see both sides. It's a very debatable argument. Like you said,
then there are the people say, "Well, I just use a shotgun. I shoot myself in the head." Well, I got two cases.
Right.
Two cases.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were kind of perplexing to begin with. Three cases were perplexing to begin with. One was is actually in New Hanover, in Onslow County, but Surf City area, right, the north end, when they didn't have a lot of people living there year round. This was a wintertime case, and there may be somebody around who remembers it. The guy was in the front yard, but all the houses were vacant around it for the wintertime. They're closed up. And he was there, and there were lots of blood, and he had been shot in the head. Turns out,
mercy.
But it really was the head area he was shot. But inside the house, because I went to process, to take photos, didn't process it. I just photographed the thing. But there were finger marks on the walls. There was blood everywhere. Shotgun was in the house. Shotgun now, okay?
Right.
The guy, when they did the autopsy, he didn't die of brain injury. He bled to death. He shot himself under the chin. It was obviously to us at the time a murder because he was outside the house. The gun's inside the house. Had been shot in the house.
Oh, whoa.
Anyway, as it was deduced in the investigation and looking at the pathology, the autopsy report, he put the gun there, but he probably had his head tilted back, or at least he flinched back.
And it went up.
And all he did was cut off the front of his face.
Yeah.
He was blind. He couldn't see.
And then took off running.
He stumbled around, walked, ran, whatever, and he died in the front yard.
Oh, how hard.
Another one over here in Holiday, Mobile Home City, it used to be called.
Yes.
Now, you know what a single barrel shotgun is.
Yes.
That's one that shoots one round. You
have to break it down
and put another shell in it, right? He's sitting in the front seat of the car on the edge of it out on the passenger side. And he was dead. But he had a 410, I think it was a 410 gun. Anyway, had a shotgun. And there's one with an exposed hammer. You have to cock it each time before you pull the trigger, right?
Right.
He had a live round in the shotgun and the hammer was cocked. But he was shot in the gut with a shotgun.
Well, how did that happen?
The only thing you can figure out is that it didn't kill him. Shot didn't kill him to begin with. Because other people were around. His daytime, other people were around. And it came out to being that the investigation shows that he shot himself, did not die, reloaded, and was getting ready to shoot himself a second time when he succumbed.
Wow. So that's very sad.
Third one was right down the street here.
Wow.
Go in the door. Bill Woodward is a lieutenant with the sheriff's office. I went in with him.
Sheriff Woodward.
And we, woman's on the couch, sitting up on the couch. She had a 30-30 carbine, lever action. The barrel was on her leg, and the gun stock was leaning down at an angle. And she was sitting up. Big part of her scalp was gone, shot in the head. Women generally don't shoot themselves in the head.
No, they don't leave a mess.
They don't. They generally don't do that.
Right.
This is one of that. So that was
one of those
that was one of the first things. She was a strange man. Her husband to-be ex-husband had been there that afternoon, that Sunday afternoon, and left with the kids. Neighbors
I
got
remember
suspicious, and
you
they were
talking
like,
about this.
anyway, they called, so the deputies went out to check it out. And I was here that day, and I heard the call, so I waited. And then when the deputy called back, he said they needed a detective, and he was all excited. So I said I better run over there because they had to call a detective out from home, and
Wow.
that happened to be Woodward. So, and we opened the door and we walked in. Sure enough, she was there. And
How so sad.
we started looking, and we went down the hallway and checked all the rooms and stuff like that. I won't go into the gruesome details, but nobody else was in the house. So we go back, and then it's my turn to start looking at things very closely, as was Woodward. And there were, traced the line of fire, and there were 2 bullet holes in the wall
Whoa.
behind her going through the kitchen. 2 bullet holes
Wow.
close to each other.
Well, seems to be an issue there.
It was for a while until, there was a suicide note on the table.
Wait, wasn't her husband arrested for that?
Nope, nobody was arrested for it.
What it turned out? What
Well, we
happened?
went in and we pulled the freezer out. Billy and I did pull the freezer out from on the wall
Oh,
on
I
the
think I
other
know what you're
side.
going to say, right?
And there was a 30-30 caliber rifle that was used, and it was using jacketed hollow points. When the bullet went through the head, it separated into the steel jacket and the piece of lead.
Wow.
And both of them penetrated the wall on the other
That's
side.
craziness.
So,
Wow.
it ain't never exactly what it seems.
What it seems.
Jump to conclusions, you're going to be wrong 50% of the time. That's the way things work. How
Well,
do
you want to
get on
talk
this
about
topic?
murder? We've not even talked about the ex-husband of Jill Biden.
Oh, yeah.
He's charged with murdering
Yeah.
his current wife, who he once described as the greatest thing in my life.
Well, he didn't like her no more.
William Stevenson, 77, was arrested Monday in connection with the death of his 64-year-old Linda Stevenson following a weeks-long investigation. Officers responded to the couple's Delaware home on December 28, 2025, for a reported domestic dispute when they found Linda Stevenson unresponsive. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Her cause of death has not been revealed.
Why?
Stevenson is being held in jail on a $500,000 bond.
Is Jill going to get him out?
I don't know.
Maybe
but
Jill will go get him out.
he said the pain of losing her is paralyzing, and the emptiness in my heart is an abyss. Most days I can barely breathe.
Well,
That was her daughter who said that.
Oh, okay.
Not him.
all right.
Yeah.
Was it her daughter or their daughter
That was her daughter. Her
Okay.
daughter,
from
Christine
her previous marriage?
Vittori. Linda's daughter. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that was her daddy, but anyway, they had been married for 40 years.
How old was the daughter?
The daughter did not say how old the daughter was.
Well, it could be either way.
Yeah, Bill has claimed Jill and former President Joe Biden had an affair before she was divorced, and that Bill introduced the pair in 1972. The Bidens have denied the affair allegations. Yeah, well, a lot of allegations going here and there, but, wow. And then in other news, politicians, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton on Thursday, yesterday, made it clear that even though she and former President Bill Clinton agreed to a closed-door deposition, they are continuing to push for a public hearing as part of the House Oversight Committee's
Baloney.
probe into the convicted sex offender Jeffrey L. I say let it be public.
They won't do it.
We'll get to see it.
They won't do
If
it.
they do it behind closed doors, we won't know
They
what's
won't
being
know it.
said.
You'll know it because you'll get 40 versions of it.
I want to see it. I
You'll
want it
get
to
their
go.
version, the other people's version, some people that weren't even theirs version, and then the truth will never be told.
Well, she wrote on X, for 6 months, we engaged Republicans on the Oversight Committee in good faith. We told them what we know under oath she wrote on X. They ignored all of it. They moved the goalpost and turned accountability into an exercise in distraction. So let's stop the games. If you want this fight, referring to Representative James Comer, let's have it in public.
Here's the thing.
Let's do it.
Here's the thing with those guys. She was involved. She was instrumentally involved.
She was married to Bill.
Well, he was married to her. I'm not sure who got the worst end of that deal. But the whole deal with her and that malicious, vindictive desire to destroy Donald Trump, she hooked up with that ex MI6, was it?
Yes.
Agent,
yes.
who Fusion, whatever his name, the company was out there and somewhere in the Caribbean, and they prepared a fake report on Donald Trump,
right,
which was proven and proven and proven and proven. It was just totally a fabrication, paid for with her money, their money. Well, from the Canadian version of the Clinton Foundation. You know what? Are you familiar with that Clinton Foundation? A little bit?
A little bit.
Okay,
yeah,
they got
remember.
one here, but they got a Canadian version. The Canadian version does not allow the sources of the money that the Clinton Foundation in Canada gets. It does not allow that to be revealed.
Right.
Nobody knows where that money comes from by law.
Right.
What a scam. The Canadian Clinton Foundation getting money from whoever because they could do it free without anyone knowing about it. And then they could take it and give it to the other Clinton Foundation in the United States of America. And the only place that the United States version of the Clinton Foundation had to reveal was that it came from the Clinton Foundation in Canada because you could not trace it back. What?
I'm telling you, a lot of these foundations are not what you think.
So would you trust them with anything that comes out of this meeting?
No, but I still.
What is in it for them to tell the truth?
Well, she's claiming you want transparency. Let's have it. I want it to be televised. I want to see it. I want
Not unless I can ask the questions.
Because, all we're going to hear is what this side said and what that side said.
I
want to hear what's coming out of her mouth.
I want to ask the question first, and I would like to have them separated.
Well, they won't testify at the same. She testifies on the 26th of February. He's doing the 27th. I want it made public. I want to see it. They don't mind putting other things out there where you can watch it, and they all argue and make accusations. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Then there's the prince.
The former prince. Or the prince.
Prince William's reported zero tolerance for royal ties to Jeffrey Epstein is being tested once again after they got some new emails have been released involving Sarah Ferguson.
Oh, Sarah.
Fergie, baby. The Duchess is now unfit for any royal proximity, according to Prince William.
She's been pretty much locked out of everything anyway.
An email where, since the day that she got caught, topless sunbathing somewhere. Do you remember that time?
Yes. Wasn't it on a yacht or something?
Yeah,
somewhere?
Like you got a 5 million millimeter lens, and I can get pictures of anybody doing anything if you stay with them long enough. Anyway, an email where Ferguson made a crude comment about her then 19-year-old daughter surfaced in the latest batch of documents released by the Department of Justice. The DOJ recently released more than 3 million Epstein records, including his personal emails. Inclusion in the files does not necessarily imply any wrongdoing.
Excuse me.
Got to understand that. If Epstein or if somebody, let's just say there's some clown around here that knew Epstein.
Right.
Just say one of our folks around here knew Epstein and
maybe visited the island
and listened to us from time to time, or heard us one time, or heard about us one time, or read somewhere about us, and they just send a note to Epstein, an email. Guess what?
Right.
We're mentioned in the Epstein files.
Right.
God, I wish they would do that. We need the publicity.
We could start something.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
We've got AI. Let's write a story.
fake intelligence, that's not a problem.
That's right.
The new revelation, they say, most certainly seals the end of any likelihood of any royal acceptance of either Sarah or Andrew. They're totally unfit for any royal proximity. Who cares? Who really cares? God, what a bunch of dorks all the way around.
Wow. Yeah, and there's people that look for a name in the files, and then they're like, oh, this person is a pedophile. This person did this.
Well,
There was a lot of people who visited his island to go party, to be a part of the scene, not knowing exactly what was going on.
A lot of the folks, particularly in the early days, the guy had money and the guy was a mover and a shaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had heard rumors. I mean, my God, look at the rumors we've heard about Bill Clinton. But did that get him shunned by anybody?
Right.
Not many, if anybody.
Right.
And look at her sleaziness, Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
She's not shunned by anybody except responsible people.
Right.
I'm just like, these people are not going to be shunned by anybody because they visited the Epstein Island.
Right.
If how many? Look at the people who was in office. The Obamas were in office when this couple sneaked in. They managed to sneak into one or two of the parties and managed to get up close and personal with the Clintons. I mean, with the Obamas.
Right.
They had the picture taken.
Mm-hmm.
They crashed the parties.
Yes, crashed the party. How in the world they got
How many
in?
people jump in front of they photobomb pictures with any of the presidents
I
or anybody else?
photobombed Michael Watley one time. The news was interviewing. That was when he was first elected as the chair of the North Carolina Republican Party. That was
Did
back
you
in
keep your clothes on?
2017.
Did you put your clothes back on?
I was at a public thing.
Yes.
And the news was interviewing. He had just won. And so I photobombed it. I got dared to do it.
Oh.
Sorry, Michael. And I did.
Well, but there are folks that will be
Right.
there. People of importance, public people like that, they will often have their publicity guys. If you're invited to an event,
Right.
you can come up here and stand up here, and you and your spouse we have a picture taken with Mr. and Mrs. President.
Mm-hmm.
They do it. They
Right.
don't have a clue who you are.
Right.
They've never seen you before in your life, and they'll never see you again.
And the folks like that are pretty gracious about
And they
allowing
do that.
pictures,
They do it.
allowing pictures with strangers, people
Yeah.
they don't know. They're very gracious
Now,
about
the
that.
people that get invited to those things, if a big whoever's handling the party invitations,
Right.
they invite some very important person, happens to be a friend of yours, who
Right.
then invites you to come along.
Right.
You just never know who's going to show up at those really important events.
Exactly.
Unless they run Secret Service clearance on them, they're not going to know.
Well, that's how I met Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan, Walter Jones brought him down one time.
Well, Walter Jones brought him to the studio one time.
Came into the headquarters. There was only a couple of us sitting there. We didn't know he was coming. Sat right down there. I sat right there in front of Jim Jordan, had a nice conversation, and just, I was like, "What? You never know who's going to come walk in the door." I was sitting there on one Saturday morning, and who was it that came in there? One of our Richard, who was our former congressman?
Richard somebody.
Oh gosh, my mind went blank. But anyway, I mean, never met the man, anything. He just walked right in the door. I was in the air, thought I'd stop in. I'm like, what? Who was that? Hudson?
No.
Who was
we had when Murphy was getting ready to run, or had announced he was running. Maybe he had filed. I was doing a live remote at Morehead City, right on the waterfront there. Well, I forgot what the event was. Some kind of a big wig spring fling thing they have.
Right.
So I had 2-hour remote there, and I had interviewed Jones over the radio. I can't tell at all what you look like, and I wasn't one that just scrolled and did anything. He was just another person. That's it. And I mentioned something about I asked him if he was going to be going to the boat thing, whatever it was.
Richard Burr,
downtown. And he said, I don't know. I said, do you have a boat? And he said, I do. I said, well, you show up. I was down there, and the two of us were doing a remote. And this guy walks up straight up to us and he said, "Hey, how are you?" And I said, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome here." And we're live.
Right.
And it was our future congressman.
Ah,
So we sat there. As soon as I figured out who he was,
right.
he sat down there. We had about 15 minutes on the air live with him. But I didn't know. You never know
Right.
who's going to walk
You
out.
never know who's going to walk through the door.
Mhm.
I mean, we've had surprises before, and which is nice. And
Yeah, I walked into the TV station one Sunday evening in Wilmington when I was going there as a reporter way back when. This was at the other one.
mhm.
And there was a guy standing on the steps that going in the back door. So I opened the door so he could come in. And he was the grand poobah of the KKK of New Hanover County.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Did you interview him?
I absolutely did because I had questions. So why would I not? I've interviewed some very nice people and some very scum of the earth.
Right. That would be interesting.
I thought it was.
Wow.
He didn't like me after the fact. But it was
Well, that's happened to us
figure,
here
right?
a couple times. So,
Go figure.
it's not like,
Hey guys, anytime you decide to go into the ocean, particularly
Burr.
anywhere on your boat,
Mhm.
you want to be seriously about checking the weather forecast in advance. We check it here. I check it, and when I was doing a lot of boating, I obviously checked it before. I checked it the whole week leading up to the time I was
Right.
going. I followed it hour by hour almost, and I looked at a lot of things. And a lot of very dedicated boaters and fishermen will do that because they want to know where they can go for the best fishing opportunities. That's the water temperatures, because it varies all over the ocean.
Right.
The water temperature, they have what they call little eddies of
Eddies.
hot spots and warmer spots. One
Eddies?
degree, 1 degree of water fingers, like 1 degree of water temperature
Right.
in a little area out there can
Makes
mean
a
the difference
difference.
of having fish that are hungry and fish that are just docile. No, but the main reason that you guys need to check this weather is to what the weather has been like, what it is currently, and what it likely is going to be. So the weather, you need to be checking the marine forecast, especially.
Yes.
If it's going to rain, if you just don't want to get wet, that's okay. You cannot go. But fish bite when it's raining too.
Yes, they
Okay?
do.
But today, out to 20 nautical miles, northwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gusts to 25, becoming westerly this afternoon. Seas are 3 to 5 feet today every 5 seconds. That means they're 5 seconds apart. 2 to 3 footers near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy tomorrow. This is the day I would not be going. Brisk northwesterly winds 25 to 30 with gust of
Oof.
40. 40 knot winds. A
Rock a
gust of a 40 knot wind can flip your boat if you're aimed in the wrong direction. If you've got a lightweight boat, these gusts like that, watch out. Don't go. Just stay home. There's another day. And seas running steady 5 to 8, could be bigger at any time, 3 to 5 near shore, but you've got to get there even with 3 to 5. And the sounds and rivers tomorrow, very rough. Sunday, northerly winds 20 to 25, gusts to 30. Northwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Okay, today increasing clouds with a high near 49. Light west wind becoming southwest 5 to 9 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 15 miles per hour. Tonight, a slight chance of rain before 11 p.m. Cloudy with a low around 28. Saturday, sunny with a high near 33. Saturday night, clear with a low around 16. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 36. And we are under a cold weather advisory starting tomorrow night at 9 p.m. through Sunday morning, 9 a.m. So you might want to leave your faucets dripping a little bit and take heat. It's going to be cold. Bring your pets in.
Yeah, bring your pets in.
They should be in our area anyway.
Yeah, if you got any plants out there that are growing that are warm weather plants, you might want to wrap them up, warm them up,
Yes.
do something.
Exactly. And
This is a strange headline.
Oh gosh.
Don't even know that I'll read the rest of the story because I probably will need to because you'll think that I'm just being kind of cruel and mean. The headline reads, Bertie County man pleads guilty to 2025 animal cruelty resulting in euthanasia.
I don't want to hear this.
Let me read the headline to you again.
Mm.
Bertie County man pleads guilty to 2025 animal cruelty resulting in euthanasia.
All right.
Did his crime result in euthanasia? Did he get euthanized? You would like it.
If it was him, sure.
That's what I mean. That's the way that reads to me. Anyway, he pleaded guilty to torturing his dog back in 2025, leaving injuries so severe that PETA had to euthanize the animal. That it needs a flogging, is all I can tell you. 59-year-old Lionel Norfleet confessed to animal cruelty in the Bertie County District Court. He received a suspended sentence of 45 days in jail, 24 months of probation. Is not allowed to own pets for 2 years and must give up his other dog.
It's not enough.
That's the only thing he got. I'm ready to do the euthanasia. I think we need to go back and do. He received a suspended sentence for torturing his dog to the point that they had to kill his dog. He received a suspended sentence of 45 days in jail. 45 days in jail was not even enough, but suspending that sentence was ridiculous. 24 months of probation. Oh, yeah. Like
Bertie County, you said?
Bertie County.
Bertie County.
They pronounce it Bertie.
Bertie County.
Bertie.
I know Bertie County.
It's not Bertie. It's Bertie is the way it's pronounced.
I said Bertie.
24 months of probation. Can't own pets for 2 years. Can't own pets ever would be the least. And he has to give up his other dog.
Not enough.
PETA field workers say they discovered Yale on April 13th of 2025 with a heavy metal chain wrapped so tightly around his neck.
I detest these stories.
That it embedded deeply into its flesh. It had been there that long. PETA says the pit bull was in pain, lethargic, and could barely lift his head, with his neck wound left bleeding and crawling with maggots. After being signed over to the organization, they had Yale euthanized to stop his suffering. Norfleet should have been next. Warrants say Norfleet intentionally tortured and neglected an animal, and that the underweight dog could not get water because it was chained up. He was originally jailed, but was given a $2,000 bond, so he was out on bond.
He needs to be put on a chain in the backyard, naked during this cold weekend, with the water and food bowl just out of reach.
Over the past 2 years, PETA says it has reported numerous dogs in Bertie County that were abandoned outside and neglected. The organization said it has urged county leaders to ban the outdoor chaining of dogs, but no action has been taken.
I agree.
There are the right ways and the wrong ways to chain dogs on the outside.
I don't chain them at all.
One of them is obviously as a dog run. So people can let the dogs out for a period of time, but so they can run up and down like a long clothesline type of thing with the rope chain. What else would you do? Just leave them inside all the time?
If you're going to have a pet, then you need to know that you need to have a fenced-in yard to protect that animal and keep them in your yard.
So a dog run would be okay.
Well, it depends. If you put them on a dog run just for a little while and you have adequate water and stuff out there, you don't leave them out all day long.
No.
If you're going to have a pet, you're going to have to take on certain responsibilities.
Yep.
If you can't do that, then don't get a pet.
Yep. This one is an extreme case, and I am disappointed that the judge did not come up with the severest of punishments.
Evidently, the judge is not a pet person. Now, see, if I had been the judge, I would have gone overboard.
Oh, yeah.
I would have gone overboard. How anybody can mistreat an animal. They have little hearts.
They have big hearts.
And they have look at Shockwave sitting over there. He's so sweet. He would never harm a person. He loves to be loved.
Go mess with my dog and see what you get.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you what now. You know how much it thrills me when I go home and open that door,
absolutely.
And mine are right there jumping up and down. And as soon as I sit down, they're in my lap giving me kisses. They're my little babies. And I'm going to tell you.
Even when your dog does something that's wrong, and you scold your dog and
Right.
you tuck the tail between their legs,
And I don't yell.
and they go sit down for a bit.
Right.
After you sit down, the first thing they do is come over and get in your lap or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
They don't hold grudges.
No, they don't hold grudges. They just want to be
They're better
loved
than
by
human
you.
beings.
They want to be loved and they want to be taken care of. Both of mine are rescues.
Greenville, North Carolina is preparing for his first ever ultra marathon. The course is a 6.2 mile loop. That's not a marathon. 6.2 mile loop through River Park North.
It's a long ways from me.
But you got to run it 5 times for a full
What?
50K. You got to run it 5 times for a full 50K.
Nope.
If running solo isn't your thing, you can create a relay team of 2 to 5 runners and take on the 50K together. All proceeds from the race will be donated to Heart for ENC, a group of community leaders supporting local nonprofits and faith-based organizations.
That sounds pretty cool.
The run is the 21st, Saturday the 21st, starting at 7:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's it. And it's called the Queen Anne's Revenge Ultra.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Queen Anne's Revenge, of course, was the name of the vessel that was stolen and renamed by the infamous pirate Blackbeard back in the 1700s. The remains of the Queen Anne's Revenge, the part that's still on the bottom, is in the very shallow waters, about 20 to 25 feet deep, depending upon the tide, at the Beaufort Inlet in Morehead City,
Right.
just outside the inlet channel. And a lot of the remains of the debris from that wreckage, which went down in 1718.
Right.
It was scuttled by Blackbeard's pirates, accordingly. It was anchored at the time, and they decided to get rid of it because it was everybody knew it. It was notorious.
Have you
And I dove that wreck in 2018.
have you been to the Maritime Museum in Beaufort?
Yes, but not lately.
Right. I have never gone, and I want to go.
There's also
soon.
some stuff there at the museum, but there's also stuff where they're treating. They've got a special treatment lab set up there in I think it's in Beaufort or Morehead, and where they have brought in some of the parts and stuff. There was a big scandal going about some of that stuff by a private company that was doing some of the salvaging, and it seems like some stuff that was recovered turned up down in Florida, and it was apparently sold there, which it can't be. And so there was a big old scandal and an investigation underway. So I don't know what the end result was.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was disappointing.
Just want to remind everyone, early voting starts soon, and this coming Monday, the Jacksonville Onslow Chamber of Commerce is putting on a candidate forum. It'll be at City Hall, 9 a.m. The candidates for the Board of Education will be sitting at the table and facing questions from the moderator. And at 11 a.m., our candidates for the Onslow County Commissioners Board will be on tap. I'll share the stream to our page, both of them. But if you want to go see it in person and meet the candidates, it's at Jacksonville City Hall, 9 o'clock Monday morning for the Board of Education and 11 a.m. for the Onslow County Commissioners. This is something that the Chamber does yearly whenever we have an election. And it's very educational. You can learn a lot about your candidates. So I would go.
When is the last day to register to be able to vote in the primary coming up next month now? Oh my God, we're only a month away.
I know it. Let me
So it's either just happened or it's getting ready to happen. And maybe tomorrow.
I think you have to be
next week,
registered so many days. Let me go to it right here because I put in Board of Education. Mercy.
Board of Elections.
I know.
Last day to register. It's coming up here shortly if it hasn't already happened. And anyway, the primary and that's where the individual parties, the
Right.
Republicans and the Democrats and whoever else,
There we go.
can select their choice of
Mhm.
those folks to fill certain numbers
Election
of seats
information.
in each of the counties here in North Carolina. For county commission, generally Board of Education will have seats, and whatever other seats are open.
All right. Early voting starts February 12th.
Early voting starts
and
February 12th.
February 12th is early
That's like
voting.
next week.
Yes, and the
So-
voting locations is Onslow County Board of Elections, of course. That's
That's
246
the only
Georgetown
place you
Road.
can vote.
No,
Or-
there's 5.
Oh, there are 5? Oh,
The
Lord.
Commons Recreation Center, which everybody knows
They're
where
going
the
to be open
Commons
every
at.
day?
Next week is the 12th and the 13th, so it'll be Thursday, Friday next week.
Yeah.
And then the next week starts February 16th, so they won't be doing the Saturday
Right.
for the first week. February 16th through the 20th, 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And let me see, the 16th through the 20th.
That was be a Monday through Friday.
Right. So they're not doing Saturday. Okay. February 16th through February 20th, and then February 23rd through February 27th. And then February 28th, 8 to 3, which that would be
That's
the
one
Saturday.
Saturday.
One Saturday that's going. But it's you got Onslow County Board of Elections, the Commons, Onslow County Museum in Richlands, the Sneeze Ferry Public Library, that's on Highway 210, and the Swansboro Recreation Center. So 4.
You do not have to
5.
be, you don't have to vote in one of those locations where you live.
Right.
You can vote in any one of those.
During
If you
early
work
voting,
or whatever, you
Pick
can
one
vote
of the 5.
any of them. And then the primary itself is going to be on March.
March 3rd, which all 24 polls will be open that
Mhm.
day, and they'll open at 6:30 a.m. and close at 7:30 p.m. And on that day, you have to go to your assigned poll.
Yes.
You cannot go where you want to go. You'll have to go to
Now,
your assigned poll.
If you are not registered during the early voting
Right.
or on the day of the voting,
Mhm.
can you register at the polls?
You should be able to do the one stop there. Of course, it'll be like a provisional ballot. They'll have to verify everything.
Yep.
Yeah, individuals who cannot vote on election day may complete an absentee ballot to cast a vote. You can do
If you're
that.
going to be out of the country or not in your area during
Right.
that whole month long prior to that, you
Let's
could
look
vote.
up how to register to vote. We used to get all this information from Jason when he was the Board of Elections
Yeah, but
director.
that whole
Right now, we don't have one that I know of. Jason's no longer there.
did they
The,
appoint somebody?
the job opening has been on the website for a while. I don't know if they've even picked anybody. So,
Nobody won it or what?
right.
Hey,
I don't know what's
how much does it pay?
I don't know.
I could be good at
There
it.
you go. All right. To register to vote in Onslow County, you have to meet the following conditions. You're a U.S. citizen. That's important.
Oh, good
18
luck.
years of age or will be by the next general election, which is in November. You're a resident of Onslow and have been here for at least 30 days before the election. You have your rights of citizenship. If you've been convicted of a felony, you lost those rights. You must complete your probation and or parole in order to have them restored.
But you have to file for them to
Okay.
be restored.
That's right. When to register, the registration books close 25 days before each election. Persons who are not registered in the county may register to vote during the one-stop early voting period. This process is called same-day registration.
Yep.
You may still register after the books close, but will not be able to vote until the next election.
Okay, so to vote in the primary, you have to be registered to vote 20 some days beforehand, but you can file
One-stop voting,
at
same-day
one-stop
registration.
voting for same day registration
Mhm.
at one of those locations.
Right.
And then your vote will be a provisional ballot until they check it to verify that you meet all of the requirements. And then once they double check that, then your vote counts.
Right. Okay. What happens after I register? After the Board of Election receives your completed registration, it will be processed. Once processed, you will receive a card with your voting information. This card will tell you where to go to vote and also shows what party you are registered with. Now, North Carolina, the parties recognized in North Carolina are Republican, Democratic, Libertarian, Green, and unaffiliated. So when you go in to vote during the primary, you must designate which ballot you would like to vote. So if you tend towards Republican, you say, I want the Republican ballot. If you're Republican, but you want to vote Democrat, you ask for the Democratic ballot.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
You can pick the
No,
ballot.
I'm just kidding.
No, you can't. If you are a independent, if you're not affiliated, you can pick the
If you're
ballot you want.
registered unaffiliated,
Yes.
you must designate which ballot. If you're Republican, you're going to get the Republican
Yeah,
ballot.
you can only vote for the
If you're
Republican.
Democrat, you're going to get the Democratic
So
ballot.
there's an advantage of being unaffiliated.
Right. So as an
Hey, I finally
unaffiliated
got this
voter,
Republican to say it's an advantage to be unaffiliated.
yes, you would. You've got to pick whether you want the Democratic, Republican, Libertarian, or nonpartisan ballot.
Okay, now,
Now, we'll tell you something,
tell me something.
and this confuses a lot of people. Let's pick, for an example, our Congressman Greg Murphy.
Okay.
He is not going to be on the primary ballot. Reason why is he had no other Republicans running against him. Let me check and make sure on that. But for an example, if somebody is running for a seat and they have nobody within the same party running against them, there's no need to put their name on the primary because they've won the primary. There's nobody running against them as far as Republican.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to look mine up and I'm going to tell you exactly who, and I think yours was the same thing, depending on which ballot you want it. But
I want both
I'm
ballots.
saying a lot today. I got to quit.
I request both ballots when I show up.
No, you can't do
I
that.
always request them.
They don't give them to you, though, do they?
Well, they have paused a couple of times. Can I do that?
I'm lucky just to get through the line. My hair color always stops them.
Well, change it.
It's just,
Wear a
no,
wig.
no.
That's what you need to do. Go. Oh, by the way, folks, you do have to have an ID
Mm-hmm.
to vote.
Right.
When you get to the polls, they're going to say, I need to see your ID. Show them your driver's license. Show them your military ID. Show them your passport. Show
Right.
them some kind of official registration.
All right. So
I don't know what official pictures or something, but I don't know all of them. Go with the online if you're concerned
Board
about
of
what you have.
Elections website
If you do
tells
not
you
have
everything.
any kind of an official ID, just slide on over there to the Department of
Right.
Motor Vehicles and they'll give you a North Carolina ID. But you need to check first what the requirements are to be able to get that.
So on my primary ballot, it shows U.S. Senate because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Republicans running, and one of them has just been disqualified by the
really?
State Board of Elections because they're saying you don't live in the state of North Carolina. That Margot Dupre, she will still be on the ballot, but she has been disqualified from running.
Well, how do you not vote for her? People that are not.
You can vote for her if you want to, but it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, but you just wasted a vote.
Yeah, you wasted a vote. And of course, we've got Richard Dancy, Don Brown, Michael Watley, Elizabeth Temple, Michelle Morrow, Thomas Johnson. That's who's running on the Republican. Excuse me. That dry heat just. Ugh. All right. And now my next block I can vote for, it's North Carolina Court of Appeals Judge. And you may vote for only one. I do not know either one of those, so I'm going to have to research those.
Well, if you, okay.
Onslow County Board of Commissioners, Tim Foster, Whitney Cantrell, Reese Bennett, Walter Scott, Elliot Jarman, Tyler Googe. I got to get a hold of him. I don't even know who he is. And of course, you can see him Monday if you go to the candidate forum, or you can watch him. All right, so you get to vote for 3 out of those, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Republicans running. I don't think you'll have any Democrats on your ballot if you're Democrat, or if you're unaffiliated and you pick a Democrat ballot, because I think there was only one running for county commissioner, so they've already won their side. They've already won.
I'm really, really disappointed in this.
Excuse me.
What in the world?
I get from the dry heat. I should have brought some water. Board of
What is
Education.
that?
On the Board of
What's
Education,
that?
that was coffee.
Oh.
On Board of Education, you may vote 3. You got Doug Davis, Angie Todd, who's an incumbent, Bill Lanier, who's an incumbent, Daisy Haywood, Bill Hawley, and David Green. And those are the Republicans. Once again, on the Democrat side, I don't think you're going to have anybody on that ballot because it's 3 positions that are open, and there's only, I think, 2. I'm going to pull
And
yours.
again, I'm really, really disappointed in the Democrat Party here in Oslo County.
I think they're doing more than what they have been doing.
They ain't doing enough.
Well, let me
If
tell you
you only,
what.
if you got 3 openings for 2 on the Board of Education, 3 openings on the county commission, and you can only mount 1 person to run,
Yeah.
what that does not say anything for the Democrat Party here in Oslo County.
Let
What
me
is the
see.
problem? Why?
I'm gonna pull yours. I'm gonna pull the Democrat side on yours and see what it says. All right. Where's your absentee? All right, Democrat. Let's see what's on the Democrat ballot. All right, you've got U.S. Senate on the Democrat ballot. You've got Daryl Farrell, Justin Dews, Roy Cooper, Robert Colin, Marcus Williams, and Oric Quick. What a name. And then on the U.S. House of Representatives, District 3, which is what Greg Murphy is currently serving, you have 2 Democrats, Raymond Smith and Allison Jaslow. So you can only vote for 1. So you do have somebody on for the House of Representatives on the ballot. Same thing with the Senate. And then you've got NC Court of Appeals Judge Seat 3. That's the only thing you have to vote for, because those running for
No
Onslow
local.
County Commissioners, those running for Board of Education, do not go over the 3 seats that are up for. So they'll automatically win their primary.
I'm just like, shame on the party.
Well, I will tell you, especially during the municipal races, the Democratic Party was out there swinging.
The Democrats, they're in the municipal race in Jacksonville.
They were out there swinging.
Unaffiliated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nonpartisan, right?
Right.
So
But they went out there.
just put
They were
people up there.
working the polls every day.
Why didn't they do the same thing for the county races for county commission and the school board?
You'll see them
Why
out.
don't they get some people? I know they're out there, but they don't have anybody. They got 1 or 2 people at the most.
Who wants to run, Rayford?
Well, then that says something for the Democrat Party. Maybe they should just disband.
No.
Yes, they should.
No, I mean, I'm a Republican.
I'm
of course
not.
I wouldn't. But the thing about it
I'm
is,
disappointed.
they've done more this year than they have done in a long time for the
Oh,
municipal race. They were out there every single day. The Republican Party lost 2 seats on the city council. The Democratic Party went out there and kicked tail.
Uh-huh.
They worked hard, and they got those seats.
They had 1 election that they've done this in, and look at all the others.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Y'all need to get off the pot. If you want to have a good horse race, you don't need to have a donkey running against a quarter horse.
Well, this year, of course, is a non-presidential election, so we won't have as big of a turnout as we usually do during a presidential year.
Uh-huh.
But it's important that people come out and vote. You've
Uh-huh.
got to come out and vote,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to Senate, U.S. Senate, and our congressmen.
Uh-huh.
And of course, we need to get, county and Board of
If you don't
Education,
vote,
county
you
commissioners.
don't have a reason to complain. You don't have
Yeah.
any good reason you can complain about anything if you're not out there voting.
Right.
Oh, my
Exactly
vote
so.
doesn't count. Let me tell you what. Go to
Your
North Topsail
vote
Beach sometime
counts.
and look at the number of votes that a write-in candidate got and won.
Mm-hmm. That happened in North Topsail, I
That's what I
believe.
was just saying.
Yep.
So your vote can count. Can count. If nothing else, I feel better about at least I did my part. I may not have gotten the candidate that I wanted elected,
Right.
but I did my part. I've got nothing that I feel bad about.
Well, I'm going to put the link right here to the Board of Elections in our comment section. So you can, and it also very important, you can go to that website and they've got a place there where you can check your registration. Check your registration before you get to the polls.
Yeah, because you may be in the wrong party,
There
you may
has
be in the wrong
been
address, you may have
so
this or
many
that or
people
whatever.
that have come out. There was one lady out there doing the municipal. She was hot. She was
I
like,
don't blame them.
she was like, I went to another poll and they told me I could not vote and blah, 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 blah. My name's not on the rolls.
Oh, whose
Well,
fault
I
is
don't
that?
know if she was a convicted felon or what the deal was, but
Whose fault is
she
that?
was going in there to give them you know what. And I'm like, oh, good luck with that. But
Yeah.
I think she was not on the rolls from what I heard because she still had things to work out as far as legal
that's
things.
on her. But you never know.
Right, right. Well, let me see if I can find this. No, I lost a story I was going to tell you about. Let me find. Maybe it's over here.
Oh my God. Back to Minnesota. The University of
no.
Minnesota.
Ugh. I found it.
They may have to pay a fine of $14,000.
For
This new green energy initiative funded by a grant from our government was responsible for the gruesome death of an American bald eagle.
oh no,
And
oh
it happened at the
no.
University of Minnesota's Wind Energy Research Field Station in Dakota County in Minnesota. Photos obtained show the moment a University of Minnesota wind turbine struck the bald eagle, dismembering it into 3 pieces and leaving a bloodied carcass on the floor below.
Wow.
The violation notice says the university violated the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act by killing the eagles without what is called an incidental take permit. As such, the university is facing a proposed civil fine of $14,536 for illegally killing what one Department of the Interior official called a national treasure. Okay. I'm sorry. It's awful that a bird gets killed with a wind turbine, a windmill, or whatever you want to call them. But the numbers of them that do not, it's like you're going to find who you're going to find for a bird flying into a jet engine.
Are you
Bird strikes.
serious?
Who do you find for that?
So they're finding the state for that?
They're finding the University of Minnesota. You know, how many hundreds and thousands of birds flew around it, did not get into it. You cannot control everything.
No, you can't.
You're gonna find Chevrolet when a car hits a bird going down
Right.
the highway. What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna find? How about the Department of Transportation, Department of Motor Vehicles? Who are you gonna give a ticket to?
Wow.
I'm sorry, I disagree with this one.
Well, here's my last story for the day, for the week. You want to talk about a lowest form of a human being? Hospital worker charged with stealing patient's credit card. Billy Slater, a 28-year-old patient care technician at HCA Florida Brandon Hospital, was arrested for allegedly stealing a 94-year-old patient's wallet and using the victim's credit cards to make unauthorized purchases. The theft occurred on January 22nd, and she faces multiple charges, including first-degree petty theft, 2 counts of unauthorized use of a credit card, and 2 counts of fraudulent use of a personal information of an elderly person.
Oh my
She
God.
turned herself in. She's posted a $7,500 bond and was fired from her position. But
I hope she's
you know,
blacklisted.
they have her on video coming out of the Target store with her shopping cart overloaded, where she went in there and used that 94-year-old patient's credit card to purchase over $500 worth of goods. How
Well,
low can you get?
Relatives do, if you've got elderly folks in a nursing home
Yes.
or any medical facility or whatever, find somebody in the family you can
yes,
designate
just-
and lock their personal stuff away
Absolutely.
so nobody, including family members, can have access to it. This is ridiculous. Do not leave them large sums of cash, credit cards. Why do you even need a credit card there? I don't know. Somebody will tell me. I'm sure somebody's got a reason. There was a civilian employee of a law enforcement agency that was doing some of the crime scene stuff.
Mm-hmm.
and got caught. The victim of a crime. I don't remember whether it was a wreck or whether it was a shooting or killing or what. I don't know. It's a dead person.
No.
And we're going through the wallet and took the cash.
Oh my goodness.
That's right next to grave robbing. You know that, right?
That's low.
Oh,
How can you sleep at night?
well, he slept without a job.
Oh, well, I know personally a deputy sheriff here in Alonzo County, and this was back probably in the 80s. He was patrolling at night, doing his job. And you know how these bread companies would get racks of bread and pastries and stuff delivered, and they would sit it outside the door until the company person came and opened the door and took it in. Well, he was going and helping himself to some of the pastries, and they kept noticing that,
Really?
some of our stock is missing. Yeah, it was him.
That's camera time.
He lost his job, but he's a funny guy, but
Funny.
just because you're a law enforcement officer doesn't mean you can help yourself to stuff and not pay for it.
They take care of their own when they do something like
Yes,
that. You
they
don't.
do.
Oh, and I'll tell you about being more strict than on normal people. When cops go after a bad cop,
Right.
You just don't want to be in that bad cop's shoes. That's just,
Oh man,
that is bad news. Okay, we're going to be gone.
we're gonna be gone. We're leaving. We're
Dress
we're
carefully
outta
if you're
here.
going to be out.
It's gonna be cold.
Please take care of your critters.
Please.
Get them outside. Let them do their business. Let them run. Let them do whatever because they do enjoy it from time to time.
Right.
Get them inside. Warm them up. If they get cold paws,
Mm-hmm.
please dry them off. A little hair dryer on wet fur, light from a distance, not on hot.
Right. I have towels right by the door.
Towels, a
Mhm.
hair dryer, something to dry their big old thick fur out. And they will generally like it anyway. Just
I
don't-
think mine go out and roll in the wet
Probably.
just so when they come in,
Yeah.
they know I'm going to give them the massage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They love it.
I could try that. What if Robbie
Right.
would do that?
Right.
No,
Rayford.
no.
And just
She might not. She might laugh at me.
real quick again, Trey, best wishes to you. I hope everything
absolutely.
goes
Go.
well. We'll be thinking about you. We'll be keeping up and checking up on you. But to Trey Booher, junior at Jacksonville High School.
Yay, man. Let's go.
We're
We're good.
there with you. We're behind you. And anything your family needs, let us know.
He's a junior there, but he's a rising senior.
That's right.
That's what you got to look at.
That next year he'll be a senior playing football. So number 71, go Trey.
Rising senior. Let's
Right.
roll. All right. We're gone. We'll see you on Monday. Be
Yes,
careful
we
over the
will.
weekend. If anything major develops that we don't foresee right now, but we foresee it's just going to be, ugh. Stay warm.
Stay warm, please.
You're live in local Real Talk.
We're awake.
Thank you. Never woke.
I never woke. Never woke.
It took the eye to
Well,
give
I
it
was
its
waiting
cue.
for you. I know you love that special sign off where we're awake and never woke.
Thank you. See you Monday. Have a great weekend.